Malawi and boy.
Yeah. Welcome to the channel, guys. YSK, how you doing? YSK is already in the comments. I'm laughing because I was in and out of the house when this match was being played, so I was indeed watching much of it. I was also enjoying the regular wind up where you wind people up in the WhatsApp group. People like Cow, you wind them up, wind them up. Because I was like, you know what? I truly said, you know what?
I wasn't wound up, Patrick. I wasn't wound up. I was just stating facts. I was just stating facts, brother. I just think this is as a player
to be honest with you. Go ahead.
There's a player we all know is not doing enough. We know he's not doing enough, and very soon you come to realize I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah, we will. We might. You might be right. We might realize very soon that the man ain't it, but we'll see anyway. So YSK says, let's go. YSK, how you doing, man? Guys, there's about 10 of you watching the video. Like the vid, and whoever is watching the video on Twitter, like the vid, subscribe. You haven't subscribed yet. We've got Don't Smoke today, and we've got Carl. So Carl, overall, apart from the fact that you did not like one player, Franklin says clutch performance today, very clutch. It was very good. All the players play well. De Bruyne was superb. So what did you think of the first half?
I mean, Alvarez was brilliant first half. Alvarez was
absolutely brilliant. Unfortunately, he had to be sacrificed.
Yeah, but good for. I thought we were too slow. Too pedantic. And I mentioned Jack Grealish because he's not giving me enough. He's too slow. He takes too many touches. Always takes the ball back. There's not progression with the ball. There isn't that. Think about that Napoli left winger, right? How that guy plays, the quickness on the ball, the drive, the trickery, the movement. That's what I expect from a £100 million player. I'm not getting that. I don't see that. So when people talk about the fact that, I'm being hated, I'm not hating. I'm just comparing him to Leroy Sané and the Napoli left winger. If you're a £100 million player, that's the level we expect.
You know, that's all true. What about yourself, Don't Smoke?
But let me, Patrick, I have to go now. I have a game right now. I have a final right now. But what I want to say is, Alvarez 1v1 on the keeper, bang. If that was Raheem Sterling or Jesus, we probably missed that. Yeah, that's what he brings.
The word. Somebody's phone.
I got to run for my final now. So.
Okay, grand. Okay, congrats, man. Good luck with the final. Hopefully, you bring the trophy back. So I've got my man. Don't Smoke. Don't Smoke. What were your thoughts for the first half?
Patrick, how are you?
I'm good, man.
All the best, Gundo. All the best, Gundo.
All the best, man. All the best.
You know, when I saw that lineup, I knew that it's gonna be slow, right?
Yeah.
And so now the thing is, the red card may have been a blessing in disguise, in the sense that it brought Bernardo into the middle of the park. Mm-hmm. And immediately you see the difference between having Bernardo in the middle and not having him. Right.
It is. There's a huge difference. You're right about that, yeah.
Right. Regarding Grealish, right? Grealish is frustrating in the sense that when Pep does what he does on the other side, it means everything has to come from him on this side, because he's the real winger left. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing with Grealish is he's too predictable and slow in the sense with a low block. There's two ways of that you're gonna break down a low block. You're either gonna dribble more than one person, or you need to pass the ball quickly to move the defense.
Yeah, but Fulham was given a space first half.
Yeah, so space. So now, I get that, but the problem is once you do all of that, there's always if you see with us is we always players movements off the ball. There were times whereby Gundo would run into space or De Bruyne would run into space and expecting an early pass from Grealish. What Grealish does, he runs around and then recycles the ball, kicks it back. Then it becomes frustrating because it's more like you've reset the whole sequence again.
Yeah.
Similar to even Foden on the left, I've noticed, and you even saw it in a Liverpool game. He doesn't take his man on anymore. If it's a 1v1, what he does is if there's no space to run into, he just passes the ball back to the left back or into midfield.
Yeah. Because there's nobody overlapping them.
Yeah, but take a man on. What we used to enjoy about Foden, and we said he had the trickeries. take the man on. Look at even De Bruyne. There are times there's a difference of when De Bruyne has the ball out wide compared to these two, and you saw it.
Yeah,
Even
yeah,
when De Bruyne has the ball, even if it's on the opposite side, he runs to the byline and like there was that there was that pass cross that he made with his left foot. Do
yeah. He
that.
made it. He made it to Haaland. That was in the
Once,
second half when Haaland came on. Yeah,
yeah, you can't tell me that your weak foot is that bad that you can't. Same thing we complain about Mahrez.
yeah,
Go to the byline. The thing is, at the end of the day, you know the situation that there's no one who's gonna overlap you. So at the end of the day, a winger is supposed to be a skilled and trick player with trickery. You can't tell me you're a winger and you can't beat your man 1v1. I understand if it's two. Most of the times it was him against, I think, Tete,
yeah.
the right back, and he couldn't take him on. Right. So
So what sort of changes did you see in the second half? Like obviously he brought in Haaland, he brought in Foden, but what changes did you see to the formation that helped us? Because believe it or not, regardless
yes.
how things were bad, I think we were still in control first half and
No,
second half. So what did you see
funny
second
enough,
half that impressed you?
funny enough, we actually played better with 10 men than we
Yeah,
even played
we did.
against
Yeah,
Leicester with 11. The thing
yeah,
is, second half, he went to the left-footed wing on the left, and De Bruyne was playing as the wing on the right.
yeah,
Right. So the only thing that killed us was Stones doesn't overlap.
yeah. And also and
To
also
be honest
the
with
ref,
you, I was
also the
hoping
ref.
to see Rico Willis start the game after that
That big performance.
performance.
Yeah,
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I understand that players have to play, but you don't have to play Stones at right back. You don't, right? So Cancelo, am I surprised? No. To be honest with you, I'm not surprised. If you notice earlier, there was even another mistake which Cancelo done similar to what he done against Liverpool, whereby I think he was the last man. Just that this time it wasn't in the center; it was on the right.
yeah.
The ball was coming somewhere, and he tried to stop the ball like how that's Cancelo. So
Okay,
man,
so let's go over to the positives because we've heard all the negatives from both from all of us. Let's go over the positives. So man, if you can see on the picture, Pep Guardiola has already become a meme again, which is
but
interesting. But so
man,
what do
that
you
was an
think?
immense
What? Yeah, go ahead.
that was an immense performance, right?
It
Regardless of
was, isn't
all
it?
the
It was
negatives.
actually a top class. It was actually one of the best
It was
performances
a
I've seen this
very,
season.
and it's that thing of whereby we were knocking on the door for, I would say, three quarters of the game, even
Do
with
you know
10
the
men.
do you know the disallowed goals, guys? Even the guys who are watching, the disallowed goals were close, very close.
Yeah,
Like all those goals
that,
were close. Like it was tight
mm,
margins. How those like the ref, I think. Like look, I've looked up back at the Cancelo thing. Do you know some pundits are saying it can be a pen, but it's not a red. I don't know, but he's the last
but the
man.
thing
But
is,
some most pundits are saying it's not a red. Apparently, somebody said one of them said it's not even a penalty because apparently it's a body check and your man
no,
goes
but
down.
Patrick, at the end of the day, that is recklessness, right? We always
Mm.
complain about this from Diaz. Why are you
Yeah.
doing that? You are the last man. It's better. Same thing we said about Gomez. It's better to be one nil down than to be 10 men.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, with 11 players, we could have scored 5 goals against this Fulham team.
Yeah, and I think
The
Pep was
moment,
telling him on the sideline that you should have just let him go and to score. I think you're
yeah,
saying
at
that.
the end of the day, you have a keeper. Let him try do his job. Let him try save it. Right. Keepers practice one-on-ones. It's not, you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
with Cancelo, man, and it's not gonna end here. I can tell you now. Cancelo, being the player that he is, brash. He's literally, this won't be the last time you're gonna see him. That's why whenever I see
yeah.
Cancelo as the last
But
man,
it's
I
but
always
it's
ask myself
limited.
why.
But it's limited now because Walker is out, so we're very limited. Unless you want to see S. Brandon Gomez or you want to see Lewis later on. But can I just read these comments? There's a comment here by YSQ said did not like a player. I guess Cancelo. No, I think he wasn't talking about Cancelo earlier on. Carl, he was going to a football match, was talking about Jack Grealish. Mancunian Way says, "Good evening. How you doing, Mancunian Way? Hope you're well, man. Hope you're doing well, mate. How was the game? As we spoke yesterday in the preview, you say you were going to go to the game. Like the vid, guys. There's a lot of you watching here. There's about 50 of you. Like the vid, like the vid. YSK says Alvarez is looking like a baller, always hitting the top. Let's talk about Alvarez, man. Don,
Yeah,
what do you think, man?
man,
Those two
man,
finishes he's done in the two games, those are not easy finishes. They're not.
Patrick, You know, when you can score the goal he scored against
against
Sevilla
Sevilla.
with your weaker foot, against
Yeah,
Sevilla with your weaker foot. And this is what he was doing at River Plate.
runs
And
it
he
behind. Yeah,
he knows the thing with him, he knows where the goal is. And Pep has always said it. He knows where the goal is. And these aren't no, these are top of the roof, in the roof, whereby
yeah.
there's no keeper
Where the
saving them.
keeper? Yes. You see, that's what Mbappe does. Have you guys watched Mbappe? Me and my friend always joke about Mbappe. We say Mbappe is trying to break the net. Have you noticed his finishes are put where the keeper doesn't do anything? There's nothing the keeper can do. The keeper will get lucky if maybe the ball hits him by luck, but those finishes are not easy. I've seen those finishes from Mbappe. He does that. He hits it with
And
power. Yeah,
those finishes remind me of someone. His name was Kun Aguero, right?
yeah.
Those kind whereby
Same movement. Same movement.
he lets the ball run through and
Yeah.
then pings it. Man, this guy, and we've been preaching it, right? We we, we we've been preaching it, right? That at the end of the day, this boy, he knows how to
Can
finish.
look at
No,
Continue. Continue. Relax
don't
yourself.
mind
Continue.
Coutinho.
Relax yourself.
Don't mind
Continue.
Coutinho, man. Coutinho was an agenda merchant.
Yeah, continue. Don't. So yeah, okay. So give me the spins and falls over. I'll take it. It was a
No,
pen,
no,
man. You go and watch it properly.
they kicked his foot. They
You wanna
kicked
answer
his
the phone?
foot.
Like I'll continue talking if you want. You can answer
No,
the
no, no,
phone.
it's
Don't
fine.
worry. Yeah.
No,
So
man.
YSK says
I'm
now
gonna call.
there was definitely contract on De Bruyne. He just fell down. Otherwise, they wouldn't have given the pen. If he didn't fall down, they're not giving the pen. But that's contact. So look at man. Look at how it means to Pep. He knows that Arsenal were top of the table, and he knows that we needed this win, and we did need this win. But man, let's talk about the machine, man. He scored, and his goals disallowed. Man, how inevitable is Haaland? Like, how inevitable is he? Because to be honest with you, okay, look, Alvarez has movement and stuff. Alvarez is a baller, the dribbling, the pressure, the
Pressing.
done. But somehow, this guy just happens to be where you need him to be. You get what I mean?
No,
Yes, it's a pen he scored, but I'm talking about the header. He just happens to be, and the movement with the header, that could have been given. Other refs give that. You know that, right? Those tough decisions, other refs could have given it. But I'm just saying, the way he moves, because he saw De Bruyne and De Bruyne saw him, but he then pointed and then the movement within few seconds for him to get there and the way he placed it. This guy is inevitable, man. I am starting to have UCL hopes if this guy gets to us in a semi-final or final while Haaland is fit. Because he's inevitable. Do you get my point? It's like, you remember when we were in the UCL final, there's a where Rudiger blocked Foden was trying to chip instead of just
yes.
hitting it, and Rudiger dropped
Yeah.
because if it was
Put his
like
leg.
Benzema is just hitting it straight away, but Foden wanted to first touch then chip it. Then Mahrez last minute.
We need to speak about Foden as well, man. We need to speak about Foden as
we'll
well.
speak about him. So I'm saying Haaland looks like he's inevitable. That's why I'm having this other hope that if ever, because even the pens, the way he takes them, where he stands up, and you can tell that this guy, whether you try to save it like the keeper tried to save it today, it's very powerful. He hits them low and powerful. That's the reason why it's hard. I just have a feeling that if we ever get to a final this time and we have Haaland and our team is stable, because Phillips is now back fit, I think there can be a higher chance now because you know what? Even if we have a bad day like we had against Chelsea in the UCL final, Haaland is inevitable. Am I wrong? Even Alvarez is inevitable.
Yeah,
I think it's
what I like
we were
about
missing that season. Yeah, go ahead.
You know, besides Haaland's elite movement and whatnot, he's very decisive. Right?
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
and that's especially as a penalty taker, you need to be decisive.
Yeah,
you pick whichever side you're gonna go, and you go for it all out. Unlike
you
people like
you don't
Mahrez,
change your mind halfway. Yeah, you change
not
your
even
mind
that.
halfway like other players.
People like Mahrez and like Mahrez tries to place the ball. He doesn't really kick it. He tries to place it, right? And when you place it,
somebody said it's actually higher for a keeper. It's actually harder for a keeper to catch a low block placed short than catch one that's been placed.
Yeah, because of the height.
Yeah.
Because of the normally the keeper is expecting the ball to be above the ground.
Yeah.
Right. So he's going with his movements, expecting it. That's why you see there's some whereby the ball goes under the keeper, even though he picks the right side. Because the keeper is expecting it, okay, just above the ground, all the way maybe up close to the roof. So if it goes my side, I'm lunging. Whereby if you put it down and far away from the center, because the center he can use his thumb, his torso and whatnot. No, regarding Haaland, man, all
18 goals.
Regarding Haaland, it's all about service. And
Yeah.
And the important thing was chemistry with the chance creators, right?
Yeah.
The the brainer has the creativity to find you wherever you want the ball. If he
Yeah.
knows you want the ball on your head, he'll put it, right? And you saw, I think there was a chance which the one which Gundo tried to put the pass over, and I think
Yeah.
Haaland ran into the center. Foden went to what you call it, to the side. The difference is this:
Yeah.
Haaland goes all the way until the end, whereby
Yeah.
some players they
They
just half
stop.
commit.
They stop. Yeah.
The difference with Haaland will go, and until it doesn't come, then he goes back. So, man, this guy, it's just a matter of keeping him fit. I'm happy he's back, and kudos to Pep for not using him when he wasn't 100%, right? Because
Yeah,
I
like
feel like
there was no need. There was no need, to be honest, and there was no need. Like I knew something like this was gonna happen. Let me just read the comments. Continuo says we need 1 or 2 fullbacks in January. What do you think about that?
we may need. Funny enough, I
What do
think
we need? Okay, what do we need done? Do we need a left back or a right back? I'm confused at this point in time. I like Rico is playing well. Do we just say Rico will give you a chance? But also let's not forget this. I don't know, man. I just feel like Brand looks stable than Gomez every time Brand comes in. Does that
as I
make
was, I
sense?
was I was about to say that as much as I like Gomez, I don't think he's stable enough to play in the competitive games, right?
I think he needs time.
Even
He also needs time to adapt to the prem. Like what Zinchenko, what was happening to Zinchenko, and
forget even time,
yeah,
man. The guy needs to be taught how to defend properly, man. Like the header which they scored against us, Sevilla scored against us, man. A defender shouldn't be clumsy in a put. Because at the end of the day, defending, one of the most important thing at defending is positioning, right? And it's something that it normally comes with time, but if your positioning is bad,
mm,
you can't really compete at the elite level because you will be exposed, right? Because players will actually run in certain spaces, and that's the difference you have. For example, like let's say when you have an Ake at left back, if you saw Ake playing today,
yeah,
we were stable, right? Because
yeah, we were, yeah,
you learn you learn when to commit, when to actually jockey the attacker or whatnot. So I think we might need maybe a left back, like someone. That's why the thing is now you see why Pep wanted Kukurea, right?
yeah,
Because I think the approach was let's get someone who knows how to defend first, then
mm,
attack,
yeah.
right? But what I see is I see Ake being deployed at left back, just that it'll chew from our creativity. Now the thing is, you can't have Ake at left back and Stones at right back. That is criminal, man. That
Okay,
is
let
that
me
is a
answer.
crime.
Let me answer Victor here. He says, Patrick, you disrespected what? You were disrespected Trent so much last month, saying he's the worst defender in the world. It's your useless Cancelo who is the worst defender in the world, not Trent. I can tell you something, Victor. Even though after what Cancelo has done in the 2 games, he's still better than Trent. Unfortunately, Victor, Trent is so bad that you can't even save him, especially this season, isn't it? Don't smoke. I've seen Liverpool fans have seen an opportunity to bring out Trent out of the West defender jail. You can't. Unfortunately, you can't. And from the beginning, Victor, I'm telling you, it's not even this season. Trent has been horrible from the beginning. It's just that your system was working very well, so he didn't have to defend. So
No,
as
Patrick,
bad as Cancelo
that's
is,
your point.
sometimes I just feel like Trent is horrible too.
Regarding these comments, the difference between Cancelo and Trent is Cancelo has bad moments, like brain freeze moments, right?
Yeah,
Whereby
it's
Trent
and it's not
can't just
regular.
defend.
Yeah.
He just can't defend. It's not even moments.
Okay.
That's just him.
Oh, I see what you're trying to say. Yes, you're trying to say Cancelo has got lack of concentration moments,
Yes,
while Trent is just he can't defend.
it's
Simple.
bad. Bad
Yeah.
defensively simple. Whereby Cancelo is just moments whereby he loses concentration.
Yeah, great. Continuo says Alvarez is a baller. He's a baller, man. I am so happy, and I think John Smokes is also happy. I know that even if let's say Haaland is injured, I know there's somebody who can still finish those chances. So here says Haaland came on and straight away he takes 2 defenders with him. It left Kevin with 1 man trying to mark him the last 50 minutes. It's called the Haaland effect. That's true. Chris MCFC. That's true. That's true. You're right about that. You're right about that. Haaland, when he comes in, it's not only about goals, guys. It's about the fear factor. I said this in the preview. When Haaland comes in, it's about fear factor. It's just that defenders will be drawn against. Because if you saw when you walked in, Don, all the Fulham
Yeah.
defenders were looking at him on the cross. They were all over him now because they were like, oh shit, here he is. He's in.
Mm. No, no. At the
Yep.
end of the day, like the moment he comes in, two people have to take him. 1v1, he will kill you physically or from a football sense of point of view.
Okay, cool. Let me just read this. Also did the take Haaland's shoulder for the offside line? I thought it was much closer. Yeah, it
Because
was much closer. It was very closer. Big up to you, Indo Cleaning. Big up to you. Big up to you. Cadinho says too much pressure for Espen and Rico. Yeah, we know it's too much pressure, but isn't them in will be great. You never know, they might actually help us for half of the season. Espen and Rico will be the future starting fullbacks. I am okay with that. Already read that. Walker is done. Walker is not done, man. He's just injured. He'll be back. Ake's on become stable in the left back position. Ake is very stable. And yes, today I noticed one thing. I don't know if you noticed during the game. Ake, I think, was taught to be going forward a few times, and then there
yes,
was a back three of Akanji, and
Akanji and
sometimes
Stones.
Stones. Then when Stones goes back, there was a lot of flapping. There was a time when Bernardo Silva was between the two middle. Man, it was a
To
Pep
collect the ball,
masterclass.
yeah.
It was a Pep masterclass. Believe it or not, guys. Give me Gomez time. Give Gomez time. It's his first season. Yeah, we are giving Gomez time. I think Don Smoke did not just say completely that it will not happen. It happens. Some players come to the Prem and are completely useless. Defending their first season, but they improve. Trent Alexander-Arnold is way better than Cancelo defensively. Cancelo is who the worst defender. Okay, Victor. Let's just say that whatever you think is whatever you think. Let's not continue going this Trent versus Cancelo thing. To be honest with you, Victor, the four backs these days, apart from Walker and I say a little bit of Robertson, maybe a little bit of Dan James. Even Dan James has got his moments, lapse of concentration, don't smoke, isn't it? Dan James has had his. It's only
Yeah.
Walker and a few other four backs who are actually very good defensively. Like Robinson, the one who plays for
No,
Fulham. I love him, man. His contract is running out. It's about 6 months now. Robinson is a good left back. I hope we look at
the
him.
one who gave
But
the
a lot of
penalty,
them,
yes.
yeah, shut up, don't smoke. Don't smoke, really. So look, a lot of fullbacks these days, Hakimi, all these fancy fullbacks, they are not like the back fullbacks from back in the days. For them, it's more about creating. It's more about being an attacking. They are not as like Walker
You
who
know
will
what,
catch you.
Patrick?
Yeah,
What I found out is actually most of these fullbacks they didn't start off as fullbacks.
they're failed wingers.
Yeah, yeah, even Trent was a winger. Like
Yeah,
he
even one,
played up
even one,
front.
even the great one, Bisaka was a winger. To put it plainly, Trent doesn't have a good position, and why Cancelo doesn't have good decision making. Well, thank you very much, but Victor is not going to accept that because Liverpool fans always think there's a Trent is a golden goose and there's stuff and
No, they
there's
have
golden
the
man in
best
the cup.
11, don't they? They have
Yeah,
the
so
best 11, best
like the
coach.
vid, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and put your notification buttons that every time we're live, you can be able to know that we are live. So don't smoke. Overall, we're down to 10 men. I thought we're gonna lose. What do you think? How important is this win to the City fans? How important is this win to the team? Because this there's a team called Arsenal who seem to not be giving up. So how
For
important
me,
is this win to you after we went down to 10 men?
man, this psychologically, man, forget even the points table, right? And plus, just psychologically, man, it's similar to, I don't know if you remember last season when we beat Arsenal in dying minutes. Rodri scored that last, was I think like a last minute winner to win 2-1 at the Emirates.
Yeah, I remember. Oh, I remember that
Yeah.
one, and that was a boost.
Then
If we drop
yeah, and
points
then
in that game, I think we're in shit.
that game actually started the whole run, our whole run. So it's in that whereby one moment. Let me just allow someone to enter my state. I'll be back.
Okay, Grant, go ahead, man. Go ahead, go ahead. I'm about to finish anyway. So thank you very much, Don't Smoke. Guys, so that was the win between Man City, and that was the game between Man City and Fulham. We won by 2 goals to 1. We had a red card by Cancelo in the 21st minute or 31st minute. I don't know, between those minutes. And I thought we were gonna lose the game. I was like, oh my god, it's one of those days, so we're gonna draw this game. But the boys played one of the best games ever, and Pep's changes actually made a lot of differences to the game. So, guys, as I said, this might be a very important win for Man City in the title race because Arsenal, whether we might be laughing at them or not, saying it's just Arsenal, they're winning the games. They're winning the games. So, guys, on that note, I want to thank all of you guys. I want to thank all of you guys. Don't Smoke is back. Don't Smoke, any last words before we close out, guys? Don't forget to like the vid, and subscribe if you're new.
You know, we might look back at this game as a match defining game. Let's say, for example, it gets close and we win, let's say by one or 2 points. It could be this game because this was a loss, a draw or loss a loss or a draw at best, and to be able to win it in the circumstances, plus having 2 goals disallowed, because psychologically that can also deplete you. Like you're doing your best, and then by the smallest of margins you lose. So man, shout out to the guys, even the fans, man.
Shout out to them.
That's
Yeah,
why
yeah. Shout out.
that's why
Yeah.
that's why I think it would have been nice if Martin was on to tell us how the fans uh, felt during the game, because
Yeah,
and hence
it
you
would have
saw,
been nice.
and that's why
Yeah.
you saw Pep told all the players to go and clap the fans. If you saw, they were
Yeah,
actually clapping all the
the
fans around.
the fans were helping. The fans were helping
Yes,
when they see the game is going down, they were pushing the guys. So the big up to the fans, the home fans, big up to the man. Even pick up the fans at home and pick up the fans at the stadium, especially the fans at the stadium. We appreciate you, and we're going to talk to Martin obviously later on. I think Martin is driving back. So guys, that is the reaction to the Man City versus Fulham game. Yes, YSK, you're right. This is reporter vibes. That's why I'm enjoying this mic, because I've always wanted to just be holding the mic, reporter vibes. So that is Patrick from the True City Fan channel, guys. Good night. Don't Smoke. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming, man. And
yes, guys, take care.
I hope we have another win before the World Cup. I think we've got one more game, do we? Or am I wrong? We've got one more game.
Yeah, we have one more. Brentford. We got
Brentford.
the Carabao Cup and then Brentford.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. So guys, see you guys. Subscribe to the channel, like the vid. Until next time, guys. Peace.